True.
Dark Elves, interesting pick indeed. Xiphos said, I will not play undeads. It's good to know. So, the Dark Elf army, I feel compelled to go over this and leave the Ghost to Mr. Satsuma. We have the Black Guard of Nagrand. A Reaper Bolter, you're correct. 1. And 4 Dread Spears. There's actually 2 Black Guards, like his army from last game. 2 Shades. Ooh. 3 Harpies. Dream Sorceress of Fire. On a horse. Burning Head. Flaming Sword. Opal Amulet. Arcane Conduit. And for the cavalry, 2 Dark Riders. Slaanesh Harvesters. Very interesting build. What is the Coast bringing?
Well, Felkon is trying to play Coast, so they're not Coast. So he's got triple Cyrene, quad Mongol, massive front line of Chaff. That's 3 deckhand mobs, 3 deckhand mobs with pistols, 1 halberd, 3 bombers. And just Noctilus on foot is the Lord choice. With around, what we got? All the usual bits. The Heck, Summon, Moondial, and Brainstorm, Arcane Conduit. So it's just a straight up rush.
Yeah, and I think as far as the build, I almost said the build burrito because I was looking at Felkon's army. The build lottery goes, the build roulette, that's the word I was looking for. I would say Xiphos has won it because he's not going to have to go into the water. He has his bolt thrower. He has a lot of strong, durable units that can hold off this coast push, potentially. Although, I am a little bit worried that he won't have enough to kill the bombers and the Morngulls on time, but we'll see. He definitely has a pretty strong setup here.
The question I'm asking myself is, how do Harpies perform against bombers? I suppose they get shot by the pistol problem.
Yeah, they're just... like, I always feel like Harpies are so easy to hit. Maybe it's those big wings that make them so easy to hit, but they do a lot worse at taking fire than most units are similar to them. And I always feel like Harpies also have pretty terrible leadership to be used against, well, pretty much anything. But if they do get on a bomber and stay there, they can definitely kill it. As soon as like one Morngul charges them once, they... Okay, so the coast actually moving into a defensive Dark Elf position. How often do you see that?
I mean, we've got a little while to chat, haven't we? Nothing's going to happen to them.
I mean, they're 20% faster in the water, you know. You don't have that much time.
Oh.
Xiphos prioritizing the bombers. I like it, but the bolt thrower, they're actually doing surprisingly little damage so far. Scattershot always feels a bit underwhelming to me.
Yeah, it's not brilliant.
They fired
The
all
only
these
other option
volleys
is
and there's still not any kills.
Oh yeah. But it's okay. HP damage.
Yeah. You gotta damage them before you can kill them anyway, right? Sirens are rushing out. This rush is coming in. Oh, and that summon. Summoned from so far away. Right onto the bolt throwers.
Oh.
Cavalry is counter-charging. I didn't know he could cast that summon from so far away.
The Moondial has extra range.
That's what I figured. Count Noctilus looks like he wants to drop
if
another one.
That, Noctilus would be in big trouble.
Yeah, luckily, I mean,
So
if Dark Elves had a net, a lot of people would be in a lot of trouble. Best AP missiles in the game, but isn't Noctilus getting a little bit too ahead of himself here? What's going on?
I don't know why everything else is stopped.
I don't know either. It looks like he wants to sort of distract the front line. Oh, this is gonna be big. This is gonna be big on 3 blobbed units. That lovely ability, and you know, 1 Reaper Bolter has been taken offline, and it seems like the other ranged units are too close to the front line to really do much. A lot of ghost units are coming in. One thing about Felkon's play that you see a lot is that he bunches up a lot of units and strikes a certain part of the line with it. Looks like that's what's happening straight in the center here. The Harpies went in.
Ignored the middle. Burning Hedge coming in on Falcon's right.
Oh yeah, burning a Siren, burning a Dread Spear, but the Siren is being quickly pulled back. Good reactions there.
They're gonna, yeah, they're in a bit of trouble.
Looks like Xiphos' right flank and center has crumbled pretty much already.
He needs a flaming sword in them.
Left flank doing way better though.
Sirens.
Soul Stealer there, keeping Slaanesha's Harvesters alive, killing the Sirens. And
those Mongols are dead.
yeah,
Slaanesha's Harvesters are really key because although they're weak to Sirens, they will destroy them. Absolutely destroy them.
And that murderous prowess kicks in at such an opportune time with so many units engaged. Slaanesha's Harvesters re-engaging. What spell is coming down here? Is that the Flaming Sword? It is the Flaming Sword, and these Sirens are not liking that. Good reaction from Felkon though, popping that Invocation instantly.
We need those Slaanesha's Harvesters need to get their abilities off.
We're kind of cutting in and out again a lot, Satsuma. I'm not sure if you can something about that. Yeah, they have to do a lot. They're holding the units right now, and you can see the Morngulls, they're crumbling. 2 of them are. Actually, this one stopped crumbling. But yeah, Xiphos has to do something here to kill those things off before they receive too much healing. Felkon targeting the black card of Nagarond. Good damage there. Because of course the black card, one of them is dying to the bombers. The other one could be the unit that can hold back the Morngulls, but it's kind of being attacked by a lot of stuff. A full health Siren.
Kill the Shade.
Slaanesha's Harvester is being put in the position to help against these Sirens, so the Shades can get some very necessary shots off. Nice horse sandwich here on the Sirens. Look at their health drop. Oh, and a Flaming Sword. This Siren is melting. Completely. Very nice play from Xiphos, but even as I say that, even as a Siren is dying, the counts are pulling ahead. Ghost is pulling ahead, not the counts. Saying. And yeah, this group of Morngulls is really difficult to stop. There's still a Siren over here that has gained some chevrons during the course of the battle. Another big invocation. The Morngulls. Xiphos is trying to reposition his shade, but there's not a lot of space to do it. What are these shades doing? Looks like they're walking forward for no reason.
They're distracted by the cav. Look at the angles they're shooting at.
Wasn't aware that crossbows could shoot in such an arc, but it's doing the damage, so no arguing there. Yeah, those Morngulls.
Yeah.
Felkon has done such a good job getting value invocations on them. People always say they're very squishy, and they sort of are. But people often also spread them too much and like lose them one at a time.
All the healing on the Mongol, it's almost like it gets extra healing because it means they get their passive heal longer.
Yeah, they do have the hunger, so if you get them engaged and keep them engaged, it's a lot of healing over time. But they're getting in, yeah, with that. Sorry, what?
It means you have to burst them.
Yes, yes, that's kind of true for that's kind of true for most vampire units or undead units in general. Well, especially vampire units, because of course if they're in a heck, Tomb King's healing is far more limited. Get a lot of healing value on them. Pays off in the end. It's just very difficult to finish them off then. Really paid attention to the right flank. Like over there, harpies are getting some value on the bombers, but
I mean, Xiphos is still playing, but
did we see harpies do anything really useful this battle?
they were.
No. One 0 Ghost Rush against a defensive Xiphos. Dark Elves. I guess 2 harpies did get a lot of kills.
Hmm.
Here we go. Yeah, it looked like a good setup for Xiphos, but in the end it seemed he needed a little bit more meat in his army. His ranged units did get compromised pretty quickly by the summons, and just good movement from Felkon. And the Morngul's and the Bombers definitely the MVPs there.
Yeah, the Blackguard. They're just a bit too easy to bog down. They did fine. They didn't do badly, but they can't just carry, protect your ranged element. You're really relying on when you're the game.
Some talk about Zloats going on, or Zoats. Would have no idea what that's about. Xiphos, you know, he's of course an excellent player, but I feel like one weakness he has is that he gets tilted quite quickly after a loss. He did bounce back in the last series though. I think he also has a little bit of mental block against Felkon. Conversations we've had and the things he said. You think he's gonna be able to bounce back here? This loss?
Well,
Or do you think he'll just take his chances in the lower bracket?
I don't know. I think it depends a lot on the matchup. Which map is it?
River Velu, I'm pretty sure the players will be very excited about that.
I think I know this one.
Yeah, it's
Like
actually
half
not
the
so
map
bad.
You just ignore half the map.
Yeah, the thing is, people always deploy on the high ground, right? And
Yeah.
then you have this forest, and then people are like, oh no, now I have to fight in the forest. But lower part of the map, you can make a lot of stuff happen there. I mean, if there's any talk about maps, I gotta point out in advance that the maps were known for a very long time. I pretty much put them in the day after I announced the tournament, so here's at every opportunity to scout the maps and prepare strategies on them. Central Chaos Waste is imbalanced. Hi, Happy Puppy.
On Essential Chaos. I never know what anything's called.
If you're on one side of Central Chaos Waste, and that's why it's not in the map pool, you just have a much shorter walk up the hill and can hold the hill easily. That's the problem. Would be fine if the deployment zones were a bit better.
It's almost like the maps aren't designed for multiple.
There's also water on just one side of the map. Yeah, but if you look at the deployment zones, it doesn't matter because one deployment zone is over here. One deployment zone is over here. It's not like someone... If you started in the bottom, the other guy started at the top, yeah, that would be different. You won with vampire count sprints, that's all that matters. All that matters. Xiphos says, I don't know what to do. See?
Doesn't sound particularly positive.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what I do, I'm gonna lose.
A thousand bullets you shot at me. Yeah.
Trying to work out what Falcon's trying to do with these. Trying to bait him.
Thank you,
High on
Kafka,
stress.
with 100 bits. Trying to bait him? I think he's just having fun. Some banter. I've learned that with Felkon, you just don't have to take the things he's saying too seriously most of the time.
Yeah, that's right.
PC OP indeed. Banned. You played your 2 first games in the Ever-Chosen Quali, but now that I look at it, there's no way I would be able to stay awake till finals if I get that far. So many didn't play their games and the tourney won't go any faster. I mean, I guess you can at least say you gave yourself an advantage because you'll have two fewer series to play. It's a little bit less exhausting than if you have to play everything from the start. But yeah, the qualifier system, I think with the Ever-Chosen, the qualifiers were announced a little bit late. It seems like they're on a very tight schedule to do them. And that's why like we have multiple going on at the same time, and like how many are there? 4 happening in span of 1 week. So maybe that's something they can look to improve into the future, but for now I think at least it's cool that there are qualifiers opposed to just, you know, it's 8 people.
It's progress.
It's one step at a time. It's one step at a time.
This is a weird pick from Xiphos. Yeah,
Greenskin's
obvious.
Embertonian.
I was just thinking, obviously, Falcon's gonna pick lizards, and he did.
Yeah, but greenskins are OP, didn't you hear? And I think they have a chance against Lizardmen. I'd say it's one of their less good matchups, but not like
Yeah.
you're totally screwed against the Lizards.
I agree.
Oh, but I want Xiphos to win because then we get a 3rd map on my favorite map. Lost Vault of King Lun. Oh man.
What the hell are these maps? What the hell?
Wait until we get to the playoffs. Nah, there's actually a lot of normal ones. Like, in the elimination match that we have after this is Scarrak, Ascal, MP Crossroads, and Altdorf Outskirts. Basically the bread and butter of multiplayer is Warhammer 1. In the decider match we'll have Wyvern Lake, Colchian Plains, and Oakenhammer. The torture is nearly over, guys. Big greenskins, but last time I played it must be 1 year ago. Guess I'll try anyway. Felkon says, why did you choose greenskin then? It's either a debate. Maybe there's some other strategy going on. Maybe Xiphos thinks I'll face Felkon later on in the tournament. I want to save some stuff against him. I don't know.
Yeah.
In general, I think you shouldn't have to game it too much. Sorry, what? Oh, it's about the map. Yeah, well. I mean, one thing I really wish is that, you know, we could get to a point where players would prepare specific tactics for specific maps. Players this week, I guess, were preoccupied a little bit by the Ever-Chosen qualifiers and didn't really take the time to check things out. But I made all the information available weeks and weeks ago, so I guess they didn't receive confirmation that they would be in this group until a week ago, at least some of the players. But yeah, there are opportunities to pair strategies in advance. Whole new game.
Yeah, I get that. I suppose what I feel like is it's quite difficult to prepare a strategy until you know the matchup.
Yeah. You know, so far there's one map that I would remove from the map pool. It was the Maruka Isles, because we had a game on that and I just felt like, oh, there's not enough space. Avoid the lake in the middle if you want to do that. But the other maps I feel have all produced pretty entertaining games.
Yeah, yeah. Depends what you're looking for.
I mean, I feel like there's a decent amount of people just like to just play on flat, featureless maps, because then you don't really have to think about the map. You know, you can just focus on your build and that's it, and nothing kind of comes and interferes with it. On the other hand, you know, this game, there's a lot of variety in builds that's possible, in matchups that's possible. Games are made more interesting if there's like different levels that strategic things happen on, right? So I feel like maps need to be a part of that to keep the game interesting in the. I got so tired of always playing Altar of Outskirts and Devastation of Ostermark every tournament. Years.
Yeah, I agree. I do find the aquatic maps a bit annoying because they're just downright better for some factions than
Yeah,
others.
you got traumatized on them, I get it.
Got traumatized.
And there, Cheesix, so Random Nick says you can deploy with Arty between two huge impassable terrains and close all flanks on Lost Vault of King Lun. Well, this is the thing though, Random Nicks. If they flank you and keep the walls in between you, well, your artillery and them, you can't shoot them. So it also works against you. That's why it's so interesting.
Is Lost Vault of King Lan, is that the one with like 8 sort of tombs on each side?
Or
Well, four on each, sorry. 8 overall.
no, 2 on each. 2
Oh,
walls.
I'm thinking of a different. I'm thinking of Marbat.
It's mortars, it doesn't matter. Well, I mean, if I was just dropping the maps on people, like saying, hey, the qualifiers today, these are the maps, people would have no time to prepare, or even, you know, pick them while they're in the lobby, and that they don't know which map is coming. Or even pick the map after they've picked. I've seen that happen. Then I could understand criticism. But other than that, I think so long as the map is balanced, it's up to players to see how they can play around it. That doesn't have to mean every map has to be a crazy map, but if you bring up the tournament bracket, you go over all the maps, you'll see that most of the maps are pretty normal. Game doesn't have that many great maps to begin with, though. It's kind of a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
But the DLC will get always one thing I look forward to in the updates, that there might be some new good multiplayer maps.
Yeah, I find often the forest positions, for some reason, are always slightly annoying. They're often not particularly interesting. I don't know why. Thing.
Well, it's a bit too difficult to see in forests.
Yeah, I'd often like more small forests. Like a lot of the forests that are there, they end up dominating map if they're in the middle, or being irrelevant if they're at the back. So there's some that are sort of interesting. That Lustria map where you've got the 2 forests on one side and then cliffs on the other, and like an open corridor in the middle. That one's kind of interesting.
Oh no, Xiphos is grabbing food. Be right back in 4 hours, he says. These
He's
damn
not
French
grabbing
people.
food. Grabbing his foot.
Oh, foot. Yeah, but he corrected himself. Yeah, I was
I think
thinking when I read that, gonna grab foot right back in 4 hours. Like, you mean his own foot? Mean something else? How
I think
tall is he?
I assume he's going to eat his foot because he seems to be suggesting that it's food.
Oh man, I just put a picture in my head that I did not want. God.
He's got that triggered by losing the first match that
He's gonna eat his foot.
he's going to gnaw his own foot off.
Oh, there we go. I hope Felkon is back. He just said he was gonna grab a tea. Who would have guessed that the Russian would be the civilized guy? Grabbing some tea. Oh fuck, the starting positions changed on this map. Well, rip. I did not know that. This is what happens when CA just changes starting positions on maps without letting anyone know. Well,
Oh,
whatever.
great.
One side has a hill, the other side has water. If I'd known that, change things.
I don't think it's going to be a huge issue though.
Well, at least if it goes to a game 3, can play on Lost Vault of King Lun and everyone will be happy. So I have to give you the greenskins, Tsuma.
This is the other way of playing this matchup, which I might have to look into it. So he's got a Doom Diver Catapult, try and force the dinos in. Got a little hero squad guarding it, which is Skarsnik, Bob on a boar, and a Giant Overtroll Hag, just with Spirit Leech. That's pretty decent protection against Pterodons because he can Spirit Leech models, and then Skarsnik can use the Fungi, the only ability he has, to pull the Pterodons down. He's then got a big old front line of Savage Orc Biggins, just redeploying, so I can't see how many there are. It's at least 3. That's 4 actually. And he's also got a Goblin, 3 Wolf Rider Archers, including the Mangy Marauders, with their AP damage. Stick job against dinos. And then double Stone Troll. So it's obviously a defensive build. You try and pull them in with the Doom Divers. If the Doom Divers get attacked by Pterodons, you leech them and pull them down. And yeah, you try and force the dinosaurs to overextend into your back line, and then you can hit trolls. And that's it.
For Felkon, a build I think we both kind of recognize, would agree. The 3 Pterodons, that's a classic. And there's no Skink Chief here to move any rampage that gets put on. Yeah, if they get caught by the fungi, they will die. You have the Skink Horde with Javelins, can do great damage for the cost against those Savage Biggins. Javelins, of course in melee they will get crumped. There's an Ancient Stegodon and a Bastiladon with a solar engine, so Lizardman might actually be able to just outshoot this. Lord Mazdamundi with, which abilities? Yes, is the answer. Ruination of Cities, Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, Harmonic Convergence, Head of Amintok, Cold-Blooded, Sunburst Standard of Hexodal, Raider Arcane Conduit as a backline, Saurus Warriors with shields. One of them is a spear, both of them are the regular kind. Horde of Sotek is also here. Instant Apotheosis on the Pterodons who took some damage. Got into that damage range where, you know, could potentially get dragged down by fungi, but I think they're currently at a health where it wouldn't work on them.
Yeah, due to the apotheosis. One thing worth noting is that ancient Stegodon is the one with the machine gun on the top, not the one with the bolt thrower on the top.
Oh yeah, because that's yeah.
The Skink Chiefs?
That would have been great for him. Right now it's
Yeah.
not. He could have won the RT duel with that. Was the regular Stegodon. Stegodon is getting targeted. Force out some heals. It's going into the forest. It's the native land. Stegodon. Lush jungles. They're not really jungles, but it's close enough. I like the movement from Xiphos. He's not just staying back defensively, he's actually moving his army while using his artillery.
He's just going straight in with that hero squad. Gotta watch out with the River Troll Hag.
River Troll Hag.
Oh, but she got... Oh, that's so bad!
She got netted.
But she got
No.
chucked out, so got netted in the wrong place.
Yeah, it's actually a good thing for Xiphos.
Yeah.
She got punted away, but it's still a lot of damage on her. And I know she regenerates, but tear out is pretty close here.
Fungi on the Stegodon, but
Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis instantly used to
fine.
counteract that. Still
Plus not
applies
having
the
convergence.
less melee defense though.
yeah. But Harmonic Convergence does at least
Troll Hag.
counteract
Oh,
that
look
bit.
at the Ogre's Mangy Marauders getting killed.
Yeah, that always happens.
Oh,
I've stopped bringing them.
because people focus them so hard.
Yeah. River
Scar
Troll Hag is
Snake
running away.
having a
And
good
there's
time.
Pterodons that can, well, they can chase her. I'd like to see another Pterodon just dump on Doomdiver.
I think this one has that in mind exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so, and then in that case, I'd like another one to chase the troll.
This
Although,
Cav is not moving to protect it.
yeah,
Scar Snake.
this is getting eaten.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just getting destroyed
That-
by Mazdamundi.
Running away from Mazdamundi doesn't work. It gives him his charge bonus. The best thing to
Yeah.
do against Mazdamundi is just to sit there and hope that he can't hit with his 26 melee attack.
This is really anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Greenskin seem to have a pretty good setup here. I think they had the pieces on the board to win, but it's horrible engagements. Round.
Yeah, the single entities fighting without import. Not great.
And the trolls, like, it seemed like the trolls were just spread out, even being supported by the Black Boss. And where is he even?
He's getting crushed in the forest. He's running away now.
Keeps getting worse when it rains, it pours, the banishment. It's killing the Savage Orc Biggins. Oh my god. This hurts as a greenskin player. Watch.
And the Savage Orc Biggins, it's just about winning against Saurus, but not really.
No, not decisively enough. I've actually been wondering myself about what's the best infantry here. I kind of like the Savage Orc Biggins because you get physical resistance against potential Croxigores and dinosaurs. But at the
if
same time,
Mazdamundi's there,
like Saurus seem pretty good against them because Saurus love units with low melee defense that they can just smash with that 52 weapon strength.
and let's not forget there's Banishment and Ruination
That
on the
too.
field.
That too.
So over.
Yeah, this was anticlimactic.
And I think you're right about Xiphos getting slightly triggered. Forest is broken, I'm asking.
Yeah, he typed that before the battle started,
Oh,
though.
okay.
Yeah, that
Oh, I
didn't
thought-
look like such a good game from Xiphos, unfortunately.
Well, if he's not playing one of his proper factions.
The build was fine. Actually, I have a pretty similar one. Somewhere.
I'm
Not a
quite
totally
convinced-
similar one, but slightly similar.
Yeah, and